What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Palantir. Palantir is on an epic run today. I want to go over some of the data points, what is prompting this rally, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 7.37%. Huge amount of momentum being had today. So 1755 is the high, a lot of volume. So 52 million shares being traded, 57 is the average. So today is definitely going to far exceed the average. And for being a Friday, that's a pretty good sign. As far as this, so these are all the transactions that did occur so far on the dark pool. So very popular exchange today. A lot of people don't really like the dark pool because it is linked to shorting. So I'll give you guys a good overview of that. But looking right here, these are all the transactions that have occurred so far on the secondary market, and majority of which are good buys. And you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So a lot of good buying happening behind the scenes. At the time of doing this video, there actually isn't any SEC filings, no press releases from today, last being on the 25th, which I think in general as well is some pretty good news. So it says JD Power teams with Palantir to create unique solutions for the automotive industry, and more specifically a lot of the EVs. So definitely this is a hot stock and it's only going to get hotter because Palantir getting into the EV sector, that's going to be two huge sectors teaming up into one. And so this is going to be very beneficial for Palantir. But once again, the whole reason why Palantir is up is because of a good old analyst, Wedbush, Daniel Ives, who does have a 62% success rating. So fairly good for an analyst in my opinion. But he gave a buy rating and a $25 price target, which is epic. But not only that though, he does talk on a lot of good things, and he actually calls Palantir the Messi of AI. So pretty good stuff going on there, unless you're a Ronaldo fan. But still, I think generally they do talk on how they're estimating $5 billion for revenue, and I guess that's up to 2027. But once again, so that's going to be a 10x based on that, which in comparison, that's kind of a low multiple as well. So I do feel that $25 price target is kind of given this nature right now, which is a bear market. But once again, as I've said in the past, if Palantir, or I guess the broader market, continues just to expand, this is where Palantir is just going to explode based on the stock price, because a 10x is kind of small for a expansionary market. So definitely something to consider. So Palantir could have a very, very epic run on its hands. When it comes down to options activity today, there are $16 million in calls being purchased versus 3.97 million in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating Palantir to continue to trend up to the moon, maybe around that $25 mark, who knows. Overall, 81% of all the options activity today is bullish. But if you are long on Palantir, looking at this grid right here, shows all the expiry dates, strike prices. Based on this, it is anticipated next week to go anywhere from the $17.50 range to around the $19 range. And they do have their Q2 earnings, I do believe, on the 7th, if I remember correctly. So August the 7th. So August 11th will be the next expiry date after that, and that is anticipated to go all the way up to potentially 20 based on this as well. And when it comes down to options activity, whether you are looking at this or this, it is just merely a sentiment. So once again, just to kind of factor that in, but clearly big money is getting in, and as is retail, because you can tell that based on the momentum indicator, number of retail investors are getting in. Stochastic is currently at 38. So it's kind of interesting to see that with this huge bump up, it's not really skewing stochastic. So no defined trend right now, but potentially if there is a continuation of good news or just the broader market is ready to rally, it can technically go up and cause a lot of value investors to get into Palantir. But a lot of people want to know, where is this going? Like, is this going to go to 25? What's kind of some realistic viewpoints? So because of today, it did get past this pivot point of 1714. So of course, based on this and assuming it can close above 1714, then you can anticipate that forming the new support, and 1829 is that next big resistance. But once again, so $16 is a very, very strong support. So these are kind of the points that you need to watch for the remainder of the day, and especially going into next week. So let me know your viewpoint on that, and give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying, selling, holding? What have you been doing with Palantir, and where do you see things going? Do you think it's going to go to 25? Do you think it's going to pull back down? Palantir is definitely one of those stocks that I have said in the past that it needs a very good market rally. It needs an expansionary stage, but surprisingly, it's been doing fairly well given a lot of the data and things like that. So definitely, I think Palantir is ready for the next leg up, which in my opinion might be the $20 plus range. As far as shorts, I'll give you guys a good overview of that. Palantir hasn't necessarily had that big of a run-in with shorts as what a lot of other growth stocks have had. Short score is currently 41, utilization is 8.91%. And on a side note, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is just merely because more of a sentiment, but still, just so you guys are aware, 356,000 shares is being returned. So of course, if you kind of interpret the data today, they clearly are validating this rally is justified. But 6.61% of the free float is being shorted, 119.14 million shares overall are being shorted. And just to put that in perspective, there's currently $1.93 billion worth of shorts out there. So you never know. I'm sure, especially after their Q2 earnings, they might actually start to leave, causing a little bit more of an additional bump up in the price. Because like I mentioned, their earnings are right around the corner. I have been watching the forecast just to see if there's any estimate changes by analysts, and so far there hasn't been. So I'll give you guys more updates as that does come due. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information such as analyst forecasts, analyst ratings, such as all of this, take a look at Interactive Brokers. It is completely free to have all of this information. So take advantage of that in the description below. As well, like I have mentioned on previous videos, when it does come down to earnings, there are several different things that you really want to watch for on the Q2 earnings. One of which is earnings per share, revenue, and future guidance. So future guidance, I think, is going to far exceed all of the data points because their future and their estimates for the remainder part of 2023 is going to be a very pivotal part of their earnings. So once again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Do you think that their upcoming earnings is going to be good, bad, ugly? What is your viewpoint on all of that? Don't forget to take advantage of free promos, and that is with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Completely free to sign up for an account, but if you throw $100 at it, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, plus you get a $50 cash reward. So this is literally a no-brainer. Take advantage. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Palantir.